Hi everyone, I am Heather and I am the owner operator of Iowa Yorkie Babies. And I have sent you the link to this video today because you are getting ready to take home your new puppy. And along with picking up a new baby comes lots of questions. And so I tried to send out videos that will make your puppy's transition into your home from our home as easy as possible. So typically one of the very first questions that I get is, how much do I feed my new puppy? And the answer is, I don't know. And the reason is the answer is I don't know is because all of my dogs, including all of our puppies, are free fed. And what that means is every day we fill the dog bowl and, fill it full, and we keep the bowls full. So my big dogs, my little dogs, the puppies, everybody has food 24/7. So a lot of vets will instantly say, "Oh no, that's so wrong." Okay, but your puppy has been fed this way basically since the day they were born. When they were born, their mother had access to food 24/7. We never take away food, especially from the moms ever. They're trying to support not just themselves, but the puppies too. So we definitely never take away food from the moms. And so with that being said, as soon as the puppies feel that they are ready, and we do let them decide, we never try to force them to eat or take away their mom early or anything like that. So anytime that your puppy feels like they are curious enough to see what the food bowl is all about and what their mom's doing, that food is available to them. I would say typically that happens around 3 or 4 weeks old. So why is this important? Because your vet is going to say, oh my gosh, you can't do that. You need to feed them a half a cup in the morning and a half a cup at night, or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to tell you that's wrong. And so I hope that you heed my advice over, because I have been doing this for 20 years now, versus maybe what a vet says that has not as much experience, more classroom experience than real world. So let me tell you why free feeding is important. Your dog will not become overweight just because there is food in the bowl. Dogs are not like people in that regard. If they are hungry, they will go take a bite, graze, whatever, until their belly is full, and then they'll leave. Now, a dog is like a person in the regards to treats, canned food, things that they don't normally get. Just like if you were to hand me a piece of candy, I'm going to eat the piece of candy whether I'm hungry or not. So that is the equivalent to a treat. Well, me eating a well-portioned diet isn't going to make me overeat if that's, if I reach for carrots when I'm hungry, or I reach for candy if I'm not hungry. So hopefully that makes sense. So it is not food in the bowl that will make your dog overweight. It is the extras, the overabundance of treats or overabundance of canned food, people food, etc. Having that bowl full of food, good dog food on the floor, is not going to make your dog overweight, because your dog does not know what it is like to be hungry. So I often get, like if I say we free feed, they're like, oh my God, my dog would gobble everything up until they puked. So that dog's mentality is, I have to eat everything that is at my disposal right now, because if I don't eat it now, I will starve later. And so that mentality can be very detrimental when it comes to food security. So our dogs here, it doesn't matter which dog, if it's a big dog, a little dog, my big dogs and little dogs eat together, like from the same bowl. And a lot of times it's the little dogs that they give preference to, because I feel like my big dogs think that they're babies. So we have no dog fights here over dog food. And that is because my dogs know if the bowl gets empty, mom will refill it, no problem. So they don't truly know what it feels like to be hungry. My dogs are very food secure, and therefore it doesn't matter if one dog is at the bowl or 5 dogs are at the bowl. They all share, and it's because they are very secure that the food will always be there. Now, when you flip that and you go the other way, you do timed feeding, a set amount, that's all they get. When you put a bowl down and you bring another dog into the equation, the dog that that bowl belongs to is going to resource guard. And that is because that it's all got to be in their belly, or they're going to be hungry later and not have anything to eat. And so that mentality creates food insecurity, resource guarding, and can even cause food aggression. And with little dogs, especially with little dogs around children, that they're already predisposed to a higher intolerance of, like kids or whatever. And so we all know that Yorkies in general have attitudes, typically not aggressive, but they kind of have an attitude. And so this is just one more thing that you can do to make your dog feel secure in who they are and what they have. And so like you could walk up to any of my dogs, even if they had like people food mixed in with it, like say we made vegetable beef soup or something one day and we had extra, so I gave it to the dogs. I could put that in a really big bowl, stir it all together with their dog food, and have 10 dogs swarm the bowl and me stick my hand right in the middle. Or my grandkids. One of my grandkids could stick their hand right in the middle, and the only thing that's going to happen is every single dog will back up. And that is because they know I will always provide. So I think it is so important to kind of get this across that free feeding is really the way to go. So another reason that free feeding is so important right away when your puppy comes home, especially if you have a puppy that's on the smaller side, which you and I will have a conversation prior to pickup if I feel like your puppy is on the smaller side and more at risk for things. So when you first get your puppy home, they are so susceptible to hypoglycemia, especially the smaller they are. And so by constantly providing food to your new puppy, you significantly reduce that risk of hypoglycemia. And it's even more so important when they first get home that maybe you have some canned food on hand or something that's truly going to entice them to eat, so that does not happen. But I would say for the first probably 2 months that your puppy gets home, having access to food 24/7 is really the way to go. And that's why we recommend the playpen, where they can have food and water and a puppy or a potty area, separate from their eating area. And it really is just to prevent hypoglycemia. I don't really recommend kennels for Yorkies unless they're much older and have a stable sugar level. So we don't recommend kennels at all for the Yorkies when they're babies. Playpens with food and water and potty area. So I might have a lot of questions about this. I might not. I really try to stress how important it is to have your dog have food and water all the time. I do have an older video on our YouTube channel. If you have a dog that is on a schedule now and you're bringing in one of our puppies who is not on the schedule, how to move your dog from timed feeding, where typically they gobble it all down, to a more grazing, free feed type of thing. I have a video, like I said, it's older. That dog actually has passed away now that's in that video. So that's how old the video is, but it is still 100% all true on how to change your dog from a time feeding a set amount to a free feed type situation. So if you have questions about this, I feel like I really rambled on for a long time. So if you have questions about this, just let me know. You can ask me at pickup. You can send me an email, shoot me a text, whatever is easiest and best for you is fine by me. But if you have questions, definitely let me know. And I really highly encourage you to free feed, and I hope that you do. It really is for the best interest of you and your puppy, especially in terms of food security and all the things that kind of come along with that. So if you have questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer any of them, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, bye guys.